Hey guys, we've got this 2018 Honda HRV here, and as you can see, we've got the yellow park light exclamation mark telling us that we've got a fault in our electronic parking brake system. Now the parking brake does still work, but we've got a light on, so it might be something to do with the brake hold. I'm not exactly too sure. Customer just said change this out, so that's what we're gonna do. Pretty simple to change this thing out. A couple tools that we're going to need is a stubby number 2 Phillips, a trim tool, and a small pocket screwdriver. To get started, basically, I'm just going to shut the car off, and then there's 2 Phillips screws that are located in the back of the shifter. So we need to move the shifter back. Pretty simple to do that. I'm going to start by popping this cover off right here with my small pocket screwdriver. And this is going to give us access to the shift override button. It's just a white button that's down there, and if you push that down, you can then shift it into neutral or as far back as you need in order to access those 2 Phillips screws I was just telling you about. So then we're just going to go ahead and loosen those off. And the reason for that is the shifter knob comes up with this trim piece, which we're going to have to remove because the button's actually screwed into the bottom of that trim piece. So these are little tiny screws, so do not lose them because you're going to need them. And once we get those out, the shifter should be loose. Okay, that's what you want. And then we're going to remove the panel that's up here. Now this has your passenger airbag on-off indicator. So what I'm going to do, use a little pocket screwdriver to sort of pry this up. And there's a bunch of clips that are in along here. Basically just get in here and pop these up. And this is kind of where the trim tool comes in handy, except one I got's kind of big, so not a big deal. We sort of just work this up. Now there is a plug located in the back of this with a little button that you're going to depress while pulling this out. A little gray connector. And we just set this off to the side. And then the next thing we need to do is actually remove this center piece here. And there's quite a few plastic clips that secure that into place, but I want you to just work your way along here. And we'll lift this armrest piece up. But if you can get started, just run your finger along it. Those plastic pieces should just pop up. They're just like little plastic retention clips. But maybe if you need to, you can use the trim tool. That armrest does not stay up, and I'm thinking all the HRVs are like that, but it's super annoying. All right. So once we get that, we're gonna have a couple electrical connectors, one for your Prindle's indicator here, and then another for this as well. So you're just gonna, we've got one gray one. This is for our switch that we're replacing. And then there's another one on this side. It's just a white one. And once again, they got little detent buttons that you just push down on in order to unlock the connector. And then this is just going to allow us now to take this panel off, which gives us access to the bottom of the buttons. And then all we got to do is just take our screwdriver All right, so we've undone the 4 screws, and then we just carefully sort of pry it up until it's loose, and then there's just a little lock tab on the front that sort of hooks on, as you can see. So I think the problem with these is just the guy that owns this was telling me water comes in through the sunroof or something and messes with the switch, which makes sense. So now we've got our replacement one, and we just sort of pop that in there with those two little fingers and line this up. Maybe. Yeah, I guess that's in there. All right, just take your time and work it in there. Make sure that it's seated in there correctly and that all four mounting locations are flush with the holes. As long as they're all flush, then you can go ahead and get your screws started. And just one recommendation with these screws, try to just hand start them and get the threads to match up to where they were, because it is possible to cross thread them and then it really mucks with the plastic, and sometimes you can actually break the plastic where the hole is. So just take your time. Okay, now we're ready to reassemble everything. Just double check your fitment, make sure everything looks clean, looks good, which it does in this case. So we're just gonna sort of line this up like so. And then once again, start with our park reverse neutral drive S indicator. And you gotta hear it click. Gotta make sure it clicks, man. And we've got our button. That's the gray connector. And then all we've got to do now is just set this thing down, line up all the holes, make sure the shifter's on there. And just work your way around popping that on. That is good. And then we're going to install that front airbag indicator. Okay. Okay, just make sure that that pops down there. Yeah, just note the angle of that and how it goes in. And that, yeah, I had it too much on an angle facing towards me. It's really sort of faced straight backwards, actually a little bit to the passenger. And then all we've got to do now is just get our screws ready and push down on this. So we'll try to just get this started. I'll take it off and show them again. All right, so it was just kind of like caught up, and all I had to do was push the button, and then it dropped down. All right, just kind of jiggle the shifter up and down slightly, just from the very bottom position. And then that should help you locate the hole for the screw to go into. And I started the bottom screw first. It doesn't really matter, you can do top or bottom. and make sure that those are pretty snug. The shifter gets used every day, every time you drive, so it is easy to you know, have those come loose. And then all you got to do is just put it into park and make sure that, you know, that does operate correctly and that it is locking. And I'll just give that a second try. Yep, that seems good. And then all we got to do is just pop that one cover on. We'll fire this thing up and make sure that it works. All right, now I may have to get the scan tool and clear some fault codes, but we will pull this. I heard the parking brake work. So the switch definitely works. I'm gonna get the scan tool and clear some fault codes. I should have scanned it before we changed the switch, but anyways. Okay, so I did a quick scan. In our electric parking brake, it says we've got 2 permanent fault codes. So one's a C1120-14, which is electronic parking brake switch circuit malfunction. And we've also got a U0401-68, which is a communication code for PCM malfunction. So in the ABS, we've also got a 61-11 VSA modulator control unit power source circuit, low voltage. And yeah, another communication fault in the PCM P16E2 PGM FI ACG LIN communication error. But I'm just gonna blow these away and we'll see what comes back. Okay, so we cleared codes. I've run the car now. I haven't rescanned it, but we're just gonna try the parking brake here. So that means that it's on. So I wonder if this, like, shouldn't this parking brake hold button, if you hold that down, isn't it supposed to just like kind of hold it? I don't know, it doesn't seem to work, but I mean, hey, that light that isn't on there. So I mean, I guess that fixed it. I don't know. Anyways, gives you a little insight on how to change the button. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video and found it helpful. If you got any questions, throw them in the comments. I might be able to help you. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.